Good evening. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our today's resource person for the first session, Professor Nada Ratwik, Assistant Professor on Faculty of Economics, Business and Tourism Split, University Split, Croatia, Board Member of IIU, Country Director of IIU Croatia, Administrative Core Team Member of IIU, President of IIU Research Center, International Internship University. Professor Nada Ratwik has completed her master degrees in economics and master degree in mechanical engineering, assistant professor of Faculty of Economics, Business and Tourism Split, professor mentor in high VET school, holds PhD in statistics and finishing in informatics, have a diploma as a computer informatic STEM expert, deserved many honorary doctorates in human rights, social rights, and entrepreneurship, advisor in International Agency for Education and Training, very active educator for teachers and professor at the Center of Excellence Teacher for Teacher, Microsoft Innovative Educator, expert and Minecraft Global Mentor. She has won n number of awards. Professor Nada Ratwik's specialized fields are statistics, math, informatics, ecology, STEM, business, tourism, entrepreneurship, accounting, human rights, professor, professor, trainer, educator, researcher, reviewer, international speaker, motivator, project manager, and social worker. Now I hand over the session to Professor Nada Ratwik. Thank you.
Thank you. First, greetings from Croatia. I'm really humbled and grateful to be here today on this international virtual faculty development program on the craft of research and publication. Heartiest thanks to dear and respected Dr. Shaila Vasudeva and to Dr. Regine Silvest for this invitation. And to the organizers, to the Research and Development Cell, to the Department of English, College of Arts and Science, in collaboration with the Cape Comorin Faust from India. Now I will share my presentation. Just a moment. Doesn't come yet. Okay. So today my topic is the rudiments of research methodology. As you say, I'm coming from Croatia. I'm working on the Faculty of Economics, Business, Tourism Split at the University Split, and also I'm a professor in a Harvard school, vocational school in Sin, Croatia. Very active and working also honorary for the International Internship University here in India. I can say that today really the topic is very important. Why research methodology? Why something other? That is why you really need to know all about the research, why to make a research, why it is necessary to plan researches, what it brings to you, what can you achieve doing that. So here also I can say that I'm the president of Research Center in the IIU. And at the beginning, I am calling all of you for the corporation and students and researchers, because this is not a classic type of the center. I'm just starting, but here will be the center for department for the innovation, for technology, and for many others, the other things for the students all around the globe. There is today when you I was here also before 10 days like a chairperson with the students and analyzing the researchers. And if you don't do that today, that is a necessity today. You really need that research-based knowledge. When you are in the classroom today, your lesson needs to exchange all the innovative methods of learning, of teaching. And if you don't have this part of researching, I can say that the students can never be a problem solver. They will never have that be a critical thinker, a innovator, a creator. So this is a way. And today we know that what is the situation in our economy. Research and development is really necessary. So you need to always, here as right, read, understand, conduct, and analyze research. That is also like a Bloom's taxonomy. We have high order skills and low order skills. And first thing is you need to read, you need to understand, then you need to remember some that things, analyze. You see, without analyze, there will never you will never get the positive feedback, and you will never learn nothing. So here we researchers really need to first know all the terminologies about the research methodology and about the research. I'm coming from Europe, and in Europe, like a woman, I'm a really active woman in STEM, in this part, and we have a platform for the woman science, and this is really great because you here can always you have opportunity to meet many scientists. This is for women, but we have many platforms for the males, for the women. But I want to say today, still the STEM is not represented in the percent which it will need to be on the world. So today, like a woman, you see that we have always problem. We have always problem with the data, and today the woman, we have always the all data. When you need data in a real time, just in time, that is always problem for us. But this is a number that said 34% of the all STEM workers are the woman. But we are really fighting, and we want to be visible in this society, like a researcher, and in all of these parts of development and researchers and innovations in the economy. So I can say that I really do that. I really do that on the European level, now on global, and here in my town and at my university from February till May. We have the period which is for the STEM. You see, this year we have a great project. We were promoting 50 women's from in science. So my students get Janet Goodwell. We were lucky because this woman is still alive, and we have opportunity to talk with her. So that is an inspiration and motivation for students. Not only when you have something in front of your side, you have notes and you need to do that. You need to deep thinking, and You need all time. You need to motivate your students, and they need to make different kind of projects. So what she do? The students. I didn't say the students put themselves in a role of this science, and in 10 minutes they record one speech, and they talk about that woman. And when you came, I will just come back, and when you came here and scan a QR code, you hear all about that science. And all these women were here, all 50 women were here presented, and also in a new book called Women in Science. Also here, STEM discovered the campaign for the women in Europe. Many projects for the students, also encouraging them and working them. After that, they get a lot of idea to write articles, to make researches, and etc. Here is one workshop. Let's learn to code. Why let's learn to code? Because it is very, very specific when you are going to make a research and you have a gender, like a male, female. You need first to code that data to put them in a statistical program, like example in SPSS. And as I said, I'm working on the university and also at the high school. At high school, I learn my students how to code, and they are already prepared when they come to the university. And when we have the statistics programs like business statistics, statistic methods, statistic analysis. So we today, professors, if we are not innovative, creative, critical thinking, if we don't have if we are not developing, if we are not life learning, how can we accept the results from our students? So today, my topic is the basic rudiments about the research methodology. What is the rudiment of research? What it means a rudiment? So you see here, I write the most basic parts of a subject which you must first learn. And that is not only in research. You always need to have a main basic parts for anything you are doing today, if you want to do that, and that is meaning of the research, of the exploring, of the experimentation, and other things in this field. So let's start first about the rudiments. If we say and talk about the research, we know that research can be quantitative or qualitative, but we have a mixed combination. But when you are contacting the literature, and then when they talk about the rudiments, they've only said quantitative and qualitative, but we have the mix. We will see that. How to remember and how to know the difference between what means quantitative or qualitative. The words say that quantitative needs to have the numbers, and here we always deal with some kind of polls, surveys, and that is referring how to collect your data and how to present the data and how to get the results in number. I like this quantitative research. I'm more for the numbers. So almost of my researches are this type. But today I have a surprise for here. It is not a quantitative research. What about the qualitative? So that is non-numeric data. Yes, no numbers. And here, when you are making the qualitative, you can make. We know that we have secondary and primary data. At qualitative, all researchers are defining the methods which they want to use. Here, you can decide it depends about what you are researching. So you can make an interview, observation. Observations are really good. Discussion. Discussion can help you a lot. Discussion with experienced science researchers, and each topic you are today going to do, someone else make it. So that is very important, because if we want to have a quality research, it also depends about our sample. Do we have a small or a big sample? What is the sample size? And some of these models will never support, I can say, large samples. Some need a small sample. So before we start, we need to know these rudiments. We need to know what method will we use, what method will we use for our research. So what is the meaning of the term research? You can go to the dictionary, to the Britannica, you can go everywhere. But today, if we are talking about the living on this world, there are many approaches. There are different approaches. From science, religious, scientific, mystical, but also, as we have different approaches, we have different modes of thinking. Our conception is not always the same. Like example, when you are starting to do something, in one moment you think, yes, this is the best way to do that. Then tomorrow you have a new idea, you have a new mode of thinking, and a new conception. What about the approaches? What is the main approaches? Do we have a common approach? So that is for the we need to first understand, we need to have a knowledge about that, and then we will seek the methods. We will use that methods for our results, and that is playing a crucial and vital role for our work. Research. I said, if we look at the dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, we have a definition which says, carefully search or inquiry, endeavor to discover new or collate old facts. That is mean, always when we think about the research, we are thinking about something new. But yes, we can also discover the old facts. There are so many interested topics. There are so many things that are not unsolved, that are attracting us. Yes, each one of us, when is making a research, would like to have something new. But we can search for something that is unknown, or maybe it is already here and it is a fact. So we want to find answers for our problems. And what it means, answers? That means that we need to have questions, because without our questions, we cannot start. And knowledge, again, is a basic problem. So all we are doing in researching, we need to plan. Then when we plan, we will do it. And after that, we have a review. What it means, that will we see today in my speech. So what is a research plan? Research plan is, we can say today that a good plan is already a half of our work. That is for everything. So it is a framework. And it can have a lot of different forms. So again, it depends about that what you are doing. What kind of document? What we will conduct? What we will change? What we will develop? Will it be in a forms written? Will it be a narrative? or it will be a visual concept. Again, a short plan. Because here I always, when I'm somewhere or listening, I have my block, I have my pencil, I always write. And that is the same for making a research plan. You need to have a concept paper which you can share later with your collaborators, and it will include all what you or you like an author will do in your research. But we know that it needs to have the research questions, needs to have the hypothesis, the aims and objectives, and research design. What it means? What kind of questions? Hypothesis. Will it be confirmed? What is our aim and objective? What will use research design? Research design is one type of the methodology. What methodology will we use in our research? So we need to have a plan, a good plan at beginning, at the start, and it is said in our language, a coherent research plan, which will help us to do it on the correct way and on the quickest way. Here I use this where we see 8 stages. When you are using something which is not your, you need to cite it, and you need to put it in the sources, because that is not your. You are not an author, and data protection is really necessary. No copy. Here we have 8 stages in the research process. And today, even you don't know nothing about the research planning, you go to the internet, you search, so that is also research. You find so many, you contact so many literature, you have so many finished things. But ask yourself, is it good? Is it yours? Maybe you can make your plan and present it to each one to see it in your paper, in your article, or in your lecture, or anywhere. So here in these 8 stages in the research process, it said, identify the problem. We know that we have a problem when we start before. What is the problem? We need to identify it. Then reviewing literature. Review literature that is necessary. Setting research questions, correct questions. Choose the study design, decline on the sample design, and collect data. After that is the processing, and you will write a report. These are the 8 steps for the research process. Like an example, we have a good research plan, what it needs to include. Basic information and the background. What are the basic information? That is always your name and affiliation and your topic of the project. What is the background? The background needs to be really brief. It is a brief introduction. It needs to include all the reference, and it needs to be a motivation for that topic, because it is very important. Always when you start doing a plan, finish it, because that is something which is making you really happy. You are very satisfied, and it is giving you a motivation to continue working on something other. That is the importance of making a good plan. I said objectives and methods. First, always define the research questions which you are going to make. Describe the methods which you are using. The methods, if you want to describe the methods, how will you will you ask it? Will you do it and go with the correct questions and giving the correct answer on the question? Then again, depending on the methods, you will have your hypothesis. Then results. What kinds of results you are expecting, and how will you show that result? what will you use? What will you use to present to someone in your work who will read it, watch it, search it? You need to know which tool, uh, which kind of theory. Do you have some technical solutions? Today, if we talk about the social science, and someone say artificial intelligence, you know how artificial intelligence is a great and interesting field. I can say field today because it is a high-end technology, and all what is mentioned with artificial intelligence. It is great today in the social science, not only in the part of the technical science. So results needs to be practical. Sometimes you can make also when you are expecting the results, and if you have numbers, you can make a quick check using some tools, like example. Microsoft Excel, MS Excel has a lot on a very, very quick way. You can make a data analysis. You can make a correlation. You can check the correlation. If you are trying to find a math model, you can make a regression, all type of regression. If you want to predict something, also you can predict it. So in 3 clicks, you already get some results which can help you to see do you have property variables, is it quality, do you need more data? So you need to use all this. That is why I said learning, lifelong learning, to all of this. To each one of these steps, you need to do that on the different time, on the different ways. Timetable. Timetable. You need to have a timetable for that. What it means, you will define the main phases of your research, and also you need to schedule your research. If you say, yes, I am going to the conference in December, the deadline is 24 September, you need to make a good schedule for your research. You need to make a plan, because first you are sending an abstract. Will your abstract will it be confirmed? So many take care about this time. Research and collaboration. Like example, how is your topic related to the previous previous research? Connect to other researchers, to other research groups. Is it on the national? Are you doing it on the national or international level? So if you are doing on international, you need an international collaboration. If it is a kind of a business research and you are doing it for some organization, you need also a collaboration from the organization. And yes, the list of the references. The components of a research plan are always conceptualization, methodology, literature review, critical evaluation, synthesis, communication. Conceptualization, that we explain. Always introduce your research question. Research methodology. That is an approach which you are going to use for your questions. A literature review, you need to have a good approach. You need to have a review. You need to evaluate the work, what is related to your topic. Communication. Show always that you are a great communicator, verbal, non-verbal. All communication today for everything is necessary. I know famous, I have many colleagues, they are really famous, but to talk, to communicate, they are very, very hard. So communication is really necessary for making your research plan. Here is little detail about the conceptualization. For the statistics, for me, the book of Newberry is really a great book. I use always the definitions from this book because it is really explained on the way that each one reader can understand. So, conceptualization, skills and disciplines for you need to have the skills, the disciplines for develop or for formulate something which you want to research. So that means research questions, problems, and opportunities for your work. Research methodology. Research methodology refers to the knowledge and skills which are requiring to the methods you are going to carry out through your project. What it describes? It describes a methodology of the whole overall process. Always remember this: method is not the same as methodology, because method is a way that you want to do something, what you are going to define in your plan or in your activity. A methodology is a kind of study, implications, directions of your research. So, method or body of methods used in your field. Literature review, how to review, how to evaluate, and how to publish the work. Be sure that what you write always will read or check someone else, and be prepared that sometimes you will get back your work on the preparation. But that is also great. That is a great way to learning. And another time, you will be more and more better. You will have more practice in the writing, because writing needs a lot of practice. Also, like talking, we all are from different countries. We are communicating on the English, and for us, English is important, and more we talk English, we are more better, and that is same for writing and for making work. And critical evaluation, yes, critical evaluation. You need to accept that critical views from a reviewer, because that needs a knowledge, that needs many sources of literature. And before you start anything, contact literature, read a lot, try to
Excuse
find.
me, Nida ma'am. Excuse me, Nida ma'am. Please change your slides.
I'm changing the whole time my slides.
It's not shown, ma'am.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Now it's.
Oh, I go. What? Uh, now are they changing? Are they changing the slides?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
But
ma'am.
when it's a full mode, I already come to a number of.
You can
Now,
continue, ma'am. You can continue, please, please.
do you see that I'm changing the slides?
Ma'am, you can choose an option here, no, down. It's a book icon is there. If you select that one, then it will change automatically.
Mm. Is it changing now?
No, it's not changing, ma'am. You can select the option here, no, down icon. There are 4 icons, no?
I have whole the number. I always do the same time. I don't know what is now. What do you see now?
It's okay now, ma'am.
Are they changing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I go through this. Okay. I come to this synthesis and evaluation. What about the literature review? We always need to learn the things what we want to study. We need to understand the subject. We need to formulate questions. What is the focus? What is the purpose? What is our contribution? How will we prepare that? How will we make the researches? What will we use for our review? For our review, we can use, I said always we can use internet, but we have many databases, we have many open repositories for ResearchGates, for Google Scholars, and etc. for contacting for the literature review. Let us come back to the communication. Communication, always a skill that we need to develop for expressing our idea and also to make a good structure, because if it is not readable and I can say it is not communicated, you cannot find your audience. Let's repeat the basic steps in the research paper process. So, always identify and develop your topic before you start. Make a research for information. If you don't have information, how can you make your research? Also, locate your materials. Make an evaluation of your sources. Take notes. Always write on the paper what you are trying to find and what you find. Make a citation properly and do a proofread. What it means that do a proofread, then is you need to submit your final paper. Here are some of the components of research process. So different authors make it different, make more parts, but we always have an introduction, we always have a literature review, we need to have a method, we need to have a body, a structure, and get a conclusion. So here we will say what are the methods, tools, and techniques that we need to have, that we need to collect, which informations are necessary to us to learn and to change. So let us come back to the definition of research. So what is research? Easiest way to explain is describe, explain, predict, and control. It is a phenomena. It is a phenomena which is including the inductive and deductive methods. The methods depend about that. If you are using the inductive approach, you will do a qualitative research, and if you have a deductive approach, you will use the quantitative methods. Always make a systematic approach, analyze you, be logical, very real-time data and knowledge. What it is in the deep, you need to create the questions, you need to analyze, you need to get the answers, you need to have the information and always the information which will be measured. What is the purpose of the research? These questions, all of these questions, you need to you need to have the answer before you start. Will your research be a descriptive research? Will it be explanatory or exploratory? What it means? It means that you will go, and if you want to have approach which is highly structured, then you will choose the explanatory research, and then you will conduct your research with hypothesis, and the time will depend about the stages and your decisions. Or if you want a descriptive research, it will be by asking questions that conducted. Time will be also later stage in decision making. It will be structured. But exploratory research don't need no structure. It is unstructured. Here you will ask questions, but the time will be early stages. Always remember valid, accurate, reliable, timely, and complete. So valid, it is very important. Be logical, be rigorous, founded, accurate, try to be free of errors, reliable to other people who already do it, who is investigating that, who will proceed your results, timely, do it in the time frame, and complete, include all of your decisions. Research methodology. What about the methodology? Many authors, I really contact a lot of literature. I cannot go sleep if I don't read something at the night. So to use, to understand research method, first we need to know what is methodology. Methodology always is helping you to solve a research problem. Then research methodology. What say this author? They say it is a process of gathering information. Yes, all you need for your work are information. And it is important how to, that informations are called date for us are datas, or informations like answers on the question. So research method is not same as research methodology. You see, methods are the instruments and the behaviors you will use, like a research technique. Research methodology is going like you need to understand how will you make your research and how it will be methodology. So how can you decide that? What will you decide? What data will you need? From who will you get that? How can you analyze? How will you conduct a research? So you need to plan out every step. That is why we say research plan. And plan the steps, plan the questions, and analyze the methods. And I say you can always make a mix of the methods. You can use, it depends about the type, the thing you are going to research. So how to design your methodology? How can you decide? So think first about, again, writing your plan. Your plan needs to be suitable. It needs to be smooth. It needs to be effective. You need to have a support of all the methods from the collection, from the analyzing, and from your work. Then simply it is say you need to put the methodology section to the light, how to collect and generate your data. What it means, the paper's methodology, what are the principles, theories, and the values, and how will it help you to apply in your research. So that is the way. At the methodology, you need to always define the techniques or the procedures that you will use in your work, and how will you design your study. What it means, design the study. You can design like a designer, which tools, which we already said, what will you use to make a great to make a great research in your work, and what will be and how good results will you get from that. So problem, mode, strategy, domain, and techniques. This is a way. You have a problem, you need to have a mode, a strategy for domain it, and a technique, and that you will do asking questions, generating idea, organizing your idea, and having the thesis. Having a thesis is what you need to always answer the question from you have from your thesis statement. What is your thesis statement? Here is a framework for research methodology. You see, we have a problem, we have a mode, we have a strategy, domain, and a formal text informal. How? Problem genesis. What is your problem genesis? You have a research problem. It can be made like formal and informal. What it means formal? Research, knowledge, renovation, others, and what here about this mode? Inductive or deductive? We already say this. These are the first steps. What is your strategy? What type of strategy will you use? Will your approach be empirical, archival, different ways? Will you do it in a group? Will you do it individual? Will it be kind of case study? Which field will you use? Do you need to? Will you make experiments or another things? So, pardon. Qualitative. So I come here first. We will always mention qualitative, quantitative. So qualitative terms, research, qualitative methods, qualitative methodology, and also for the quantitative research. And now I will again repeat, qualitative research. It is a type of research where you will have data about some kind of behaviors. So today, like example, last 3 months, the situation, this is great for the medicine or for the psychologists, and this is more for the social science, this type of the qualitative research. For them, that is really good for their phenomena. Quantitative research, the type that we want to find out how many, how much, how often, and that is with the numbers. So that flow chart to classify methodology is important. So we really need to know good theory, contact literature and theory to be clear with ourselves when we are making or researching something. Then the question will be, is the research based on the direct access to the facts? Do you have the information from the people? How is the classification of the strategy, the formulation, and the problem is very important. Was the problem solved before, or you are going to solve some kind of the problems? What you need to involve and what it needs to be included here in the methodology. Here are the questions: who, where, when, how, what, why. So your method, explanation, what is the reason, what inspired you. Also, when you have a research method and you have your problem, do you have instruments? Which instruments will you use? And you need to explain your instruments. Then when you get results, you need to explain without interpretation. If we don't have interpretation, good interpretation, we didn't do nothing. A number or something for us doesn't mean nothing. Then do you have any how is your sample? We talk about that, large, small. And do you have any kind of limitations? Because in some kind of, in science or some some field, you have a kind of limitations to make researches, especially maybe in the military or somewhere where the things are really secret, where we don't have access to the data, so we can have limitations. Here we see that more than 78% of researches are quantitative, qualitative 14%, secondary 3%, and others are 5%. So these are data 1 year old. So you see, almost the quantitative research today is more. Why do you need to document your research method? Why it is need to document? Because if you don't have a document, it is that kind of poor methodology or something you didn't do. You will not be good. You will not have a good approach. It will not be well organized if you don't have, if your document. If you don't explain all what you are going to do, why are you doing that, what are the reasons, how will you carry that, and maybe sometimes you have a something new, a unique method, and you need to document your research method. So how the methodology can take place in your work, what it means in your scenario. If someone before you or before or later is doing, you try to replicate your research, because when you write like you are contacting other works, also someone will read your work. Then if you have critics on your work, curate it, prepare it, explain it, how will you do that, provide a good plan, because it will help you to achieve your goal, to understand your method which you choose. Then you can have an opportunity to the document. Here I find this is for me very interesting. This is for the business solutions. It is called a quadrant knowledge solution. So this is really great software where they can help you for the primary research and for the secondary. This is more for organizations, but it looks good. So I want to say, for me, I really adore technology, but will the research have the sense if we use always this kind of softwares which will offer us already the results, the design, all. It is good, it is great, but I think that it is for you very interesting when you are starting, when you are searching, when you are writing. So that will disappear if we always use final products in our researches. Now I come to the research methods, because I said that research methodology is not the same as the research methods. So I will go a little faster through this, because I have one research to show. The types are qualitative, quantitative, mixed. You see, again, it's the same. I will not repeat this. So let's see qualitative research methods vs quantitative research methods. So what is the basic difference? We already said, but let's say they are different in the analytical objectives. They are different when we are asking the questions. They are different when we are collecting the data and using the data collection instruments. Also, we have a difference in the forms of the data they are producing, and the flexibility, which is the degree of flexibility of qualitative and quantitative research. Qualitative research starts with what or how. Quantitative, you see how, what, and why. How, you need to have how. Then identify the main argument. Here you need to independent and the dependent variables. That is important. Here have more specific sub-questions, because if you are making a qualitative, if you don't have a lot of questions and answers, it will be really hard to make a good qualitative research. Here at quantitative, the type are always descriptive, casual, and predictive. So it depends about you. If you want research methodology, using a formal research, I put this here because it is very important to know what will your chapter, what will your article contain. So always you need to have a section for the methodological choices, the section which will be used for the researchers. Why? They need to justify the methods that they're using. Then the third section is always for our readers. And why for our readers? They need to evaluate this work. So how to write a research methodology? We have few constructive steps. The first step is first determine your methodological approach. We say that determine your methodological approach, provide an explanation, include always explanation of your problem, and think about the type of data, quantitative, qualitative, primary, secondary, mix. You need to answer this. That is the first. The second is outline the methods of data collection. What it means, outline the methods of data collection. That means that you need to describe all the methods you will use doing in your research. What will it include? If you have a quantitative methods, you will use experiments, surveys, existing literature, then focus groups, interviews, and literature. Outline the methods of analysis. What method of analysis you will use in your research? If you conduct quantitative, you will have different statistical tests, different techniques. You will use different software to make an analysis of your data. But if you are conducting a qualitative, then you need to have analysis. Different types of analysis need to be used in your research. Justify your choices. What it means, evaluate and justify all your methodological choices. Be sure, take care. There are many limitations and weaknesses here. When you choose something, you need to choose and you need to choose the best suited. What it means, the best suited? The best suited will only bring you to the results what you are expecting, and then you will get a good outcome which will be measurable, reliable, valid, which we say before. So research methodology is really a large topic, and if we are designing this, it is a big challenge for us. Writing your research paper methodology. Let's see some tips here at this research union model. It depends again about this. Is it a philosophy? Like if we use a philosophy, so we have then positivism, realism, interpretism, pragmatism. What kind of approaches we use? Deductive, inductive. Strategies. What are our strategies? We have see here experiment, survey, case study, action research, archival search. What is the time horizon? Which is our time horizon for collecting the data and data analyzing. what is the technique and the procedure. We can have here the different method, mixed, multi-method, mono method. So this Onio method, sometimes this I really like this kind of infographics and this photo visual, because this is sometimes you here you have all for I can say for one kind of conclusion which I talk before in this my giving today my speech. All here is in this Onion model. To have an effective methodology section, always introduce your methods. This is remember this. Establish a good connection. Have good research questions. Always introduce your instruments. Again, which methods are using which instruments? Is it survey, questionnaire, interview, observation? Discuss your analysis. Always discuss your analysis, because if you are using some kind of statistical analysis, if you want to explore something new, you need to have a good explanation, good interpretation. Then provide background information. Talk about your sampling process, which so your sample is large or small. If you are using statistics, you need to use a method which will have a sampling indication. Also address your research limitations. Here, research limitations, you see, I'm repeating something because today for me this is very, very important to like a reminder or to remember. How to avoid in writing the methodology section of your research. Always include the details. All details need to be included. All information needs to be, all explanations need to be. Never ignore if you have some kind of problems. Try to find help. Never blind your eye. Always describe how you handled with that problem, because it is normal to have problems when you are having a research. Take care about the ethical considerations. What it means. Always provide your content, maintain your data, react to the researcher's methods, take this to the affection and be to the verb. So the rights to privacy is always included. And our author said there are some ethical considerations that researchers must be mindful of, especially when we are talking and gathering about the research data. Here, visual, again, what we have here, the benefits for the researchers, for the participants: integrity, competence, non-maleficence, justice, dignity, again, confidentiality, privacy, autonomy, honesty, responsibility. See, for a researcher, integrity, responsibility, honesty. Remember this for these ethical principles of the research. At the choosing of a research methodology, how select, how acquainted, which section, which indications, which elaboration, what is the objective of your research. Here are some what authors said. Some say it needs to be based on the interests, beliefs, and convictions. They say you need to choose a research methodology. Then you need to have existing data, knowledge, available time, and other research if we are talking about the philosophical theory. Basic paradigms, if we have social research, quantitative, we have different paradigms. At the scientific, we know what is the basic determinant, what is a paradigm. Paradigm is always a criteria which you need, which is basis on your problem. Social research always have qual and quan. This is the shortest. Qual is qualitative, quan is quantitative. Philosophical start for the qualitative methodology from the constructivism. The characteristic of the qualitative, why I choose here now qualitative methodology, because I will go through one my article. That is why I choose qualitative methodology. They are always with the individual attack. What about the research methods? The methods obtained for the individuals. What they try to make integrity, they try to make complexity of the whole situation that they are studying. So here is this inductive. We at qualitative methodology, we have inductive logic, not deductive. We need to research the generalization. Our researcher needs to look to the problem, to the things. The researcher needs to analyze the claim for the form. The researcher needs to ask open-ended questions, and also the gathers for the information. The difference between the quantitative and qualitative, you see, between this phenomena, cause and cause effects. This is for a smaller group. Qualitative can collect new information about the research problem, can create new theories, and also have a description and interpretation of the experiences. If we talk about the research implementation, quantitative methodology always control clearly your variables which you are defining, all the conditions. If we talk about the qualitative, the focus is not on the controlling variables. You can always have a deeper vision, deeper insight, and you can have some kind of new informations. Generalization of results at quantitative, the sample, it enabled the generalization of results for the sample to the population, and the qualitative do not allow the generalization of the results. If we talk about the sample at quantitative, we always have large samples. We can have random selections of them. Population can be divided in segments. It is very important. At qualitative, we have small samples and we have a random selection of respondents, but it is targeted for the respondents. The position of the respondents here at quant, the respondents are the object of the research. At qual, they are the object of the subject of the research process, but during the research you can help creating something new in the new predictions. You can help to explain the results, but at quant you do not have an influence on the conclusions of the research. Differences. If we talk about the position of us who is doing that, of a researcher, here at quantitative, you are always reduced to complete it, and you can only try to record the research phenomena. At qualitative, the researcher is participating very actively and is always looking to the problem, has a point, has his view, has his own knowledge. That is very important, and he tries to make that. The differences is also in the data. At quantitative, we have numerical data, we said that, and we have standardized instruments, we have research variables. At qualitative, we have text, pictures, instrument descriptions, and some kind of standardization. If we are talking about the processing and analyzing, quantitative use, quantitative use, statistical analysis. We know that it is a descriptive statistic and inferential statistics. Qualitative have the interpretation of the results. Which methods are we using? Surveys, psychological tests, quantitative observation, experiments. Then at qualitative, we have the group interviews and others. I think how much I'm talking. Let me go a little to my work. Pardon, I will go a little further. I see that I go through the time. Use the infographics. What types of research? I mentioned already them, but I didn't mention longitudinal, cross-sectional, and action research. Different types of research paper you can write. Here, for the quantitative, we need statistics and data analysis. We need to know about how to collect our data, which techniques and tools will we use. We mentioned them, which for quantitative, surveys, observation, documents, experiments. For the primary research tools, which tools can we use? So tool and technique is also not the same like method and methodology. So here I will go to through my research, my paper. I make here a qualitative, it is a qualitative research, and it's called Improving Home Security Using Blockchain. I want to say here what was the major problem. The major problem is using smart home technology leads to various security issues. Why? Because we know today that we have multiple threats, hackers, viruses, and it is happening to our devices and to our internet connections. We are talking about the Internet of the Things, and many websites and links here also don't have privacy policies, and due to the hackers can immediately steal the information from the user. This paper presents how to use blockchain to improve home security. So I will not go through the whole paper. I will say so. It have a introduction about this, what the reports are confirming, how the technology today is controlled by the Internet of the Things, what we are getting from this, what can we get, like example, what we have from this smart technologies. We have the Wi-Fi, we have TV, we have internet, how we are holding our household activities. Also, we need to use a smart home app. We can have a smart home app on our mobiles to make the operation for this home equipment. Domus meaning home, the technology. So here in the introduction, I report all the impacts of using blockchain technology in reducing the hacking. So reducing the hacking in the smart homes. So in our homes to our smart devices. Here I have a problem definition. My problem, so we see introduction, problem definition. What is the biggest problem today? That more than 40% of smart house devices are prone to the cyber attacks, and 65% do not have a sufficient innovative support system. So the criminals can easily access our social media accounts, our bank accounts, our emails, our other information. Then I have a methodology, because this is a qualitative research. I have research philosophy research. Here I use and I collected the secondary data. I have used under the interpretivism, positivism, realism, and also other things. Why I use this? Because I want to derive my conclusion. What is my, then I have my approach. This is my approach. I want to help the entire data for the research, collect and analyze all the research, all the approaches. Here it is a deductive approach. So you see all this before I explain is here now in this in my article. So I'm under the deductive method. We will make result. Research design, the methodology, the framework here. I have 5 types of research design: explanatory, exploratory, diagnostic, descriptive, and correlational. That is my design, my research design. How data collection technique, how I collected the data. I used 2 methods of data collection. I have primary method and I have secondary method. And also they are divided in 2 parts, the qualitative and quantitative methods. And the researcher used the secondary. I take care about the ethics under the Data Protection Act 1998. The data needs to be safe and the secure is really necessary. After that, I write a lot. I get my conclusion. So, the research has provided the information how the blockchain technology and benefit smart technologies will improve the security measures. Then the technology can be used also everywhere in industries, cybersecurity, technology, banking, in many fields. Significantly will benefit the blockchain technology, will improve the network security measures. Also can conclude the blockchain technology has a great potential. So that is my work. I said you can use for the very quickly analyzes Excel, for make pivot tables, for make predictions, for a lot of things. So instead of conclusion, I always like to type this: statistical way of thinking one day for the daily life of the citizens will become equally indispensable as knowledge of reading and writing. My sources, I didn't say for my article, I contact 100 articles. Then, thank you for your attention. Let's learn and grow together. Again, be free, join me. I'm a really friendly person. We can learn together. We can work together. We can try to find new research methodologies, new methods. You see here epistemology, methodology, and others. Thank you very